Hey everyone, my name is Nathan Jones, and if you're new here, welcome. I like to talk about all things movies, specifically Blu-rays, and today we are continuing with the Year series. So if you're not familiar with this series, what I've been doing is I actually started off with the year 1940, and that was all chosen from a random number generator from like the early 1900s up to like 2023. And then I put that all compiled and it randomly spit out 1940, and I covered my 5 favorite films from the year. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to continue that. And so next, the person in the comment section, people listed the next year that they wanted to see, and 1955 was chosen last time. So we're doing that again. So, this time, I know you could probably see the title of the video. Today we're covering 1962. So I want to say thank you to Heather. The 80s live here, that's her moniker. And yeah, I want to say thank you, Heather, for choosing this. I randomly chose your comments, and 1962 popped up. So for everybody who's watching this right now, be sure to let me know what kind of year you want to cover. So if it's not 1940, 1955, or 1962, make sure to give me a random year down in the comment section down below. I want to continue this, and I want to shout you out, to continue this fun series that we're talking about. So again, do that, and then also let me know what your favorite films from 1962 are. So there's a lot of films that I have not seen from this year, and it's unfortunate. But I'm going to cover the 5 that I enjoy, so I hope you enjoy it as well. So let's jump into my choices for 1962. All right, so from 1962, my number 5 choice is one that was a kind of a surprise for me when first time I watched it. It is coming actually from this Indicator Hammer Volume 6 box set. It's also available in various other places as well, but I'm talking about a particular film in this particular set. So that film inside this set is actually The Phantom of the Opera from 1962. Wow, this actually might be one of my favorite, if not my favorite iteration of The Phantom of the Opera. I know I'm not alone in this, at least my friend Daniel over at Cobwebs, he also really enjoys this film, but man, oh man, I did not expect to love this as much as I did. It actually has Herbert Lom in it, who is the Phantom, who's fantastic. It has Heather Sears, Thorley Walters, and Michael Gow. And this is all produced by, Anthony Hines and directed by Terrence Fisher. So all Hammer classic people who are involved with this film. And wow, what a stunner of a film. I don't know. I just really love how it kind of reverses that Universal 40s version, which I think it's one of my least favorite films, especially when it comes to those Universal classics. But The Phantom of the Opera in 1962, man, it completely switched its gears, and it became a lot more violent, a little bit more sexualized, but at the same time, balanced it out in a very, very positive way. Anywho, this set actually has a really cool amount of things into it. There's that. And then it also has a cool alternate poster, which actually is the thing that I have on my wall. But you can't see my wall right now. A big storm happened. Tree fell on my roof. Anyway, that's a whole other story. So there's a lot of things on the other side of this that aren't here. So, anywho, yeah, this is a film that I think if you've not seen this before, this will really surprise you. I think this is a film that really, captures the spirit of The Phantom of the Opera in a really positive way, and I think it clearly is one of the best films from this year, and that's why it's number 5. All right, so next we're going to take a trip to Italy. We're actually going to take a road trip, and this is a film that I really, really love, and I've talked about it actually a couple times on the channel. It's actually a film by Dino Risi, and that is Il Surpasso. Man, what a fun film. It's an Italian road comedy of sorts, and it's a road movie, so it's a road trip, and we have some great casts here. Vittorio Gassman and Jean-Louis Trintignant. I can never say his name correctly, so I hope I said that correctly. Yeah, so it's those two pair who are an unlikely duo going on an adventure on the road, and it's just a lot of really cool scenery on top of just, interactions with themselves. And I always love road movies, and I also really love movies that just capture kind of togetherness in a very small way, I suppose. It's hard to describe. I just like when, you're kind of left on your own and you're having conversations with each other along the way. So that's where El Surpasso, does a really great job here. But I just really love, how fresh this movie is, and it has a bunch of craziness to it. Of course, you have things like that. Where you just have really great scenery where they're just being goofballs the entire time. I mean, look at those faces. So it's just a really fun movie, and I think it's one that is not talked about enough. And I believe actually this movie is coming out from Radiance as well, so I'm really excited to check out that version as well. But yeah, this is a film that I think a lot more people need to discover, and El Surpasso definitely belongs in 1962's like top echelon. So check out if you've never seen it. It's a really fun movie. All right, so now we're getting to the top three, and this is where things get a little dicey, and a lot of people will be like, "What? Why is this number three?" But it's a film that I've only actually seen once, so I really can't say too much about it, but I'm talking about Lawrence of Arabia. So this is actually the 4K Steelbook. I'm glad that there's a 4K of this. I would rather not have a Steelbook, but that's just me. It's a good looking Steelbook. Let me just say that. But man, what an amazing film. I mean, this is, I think, one of the greatest epics of all time, and I can stand by that by only seeing it once, but I have not seen the 4K version of this just yet. But this movie made a huge impact on me. Of course, you got the blue-eyed Peter O'Toole in here, and you know his adventures. That span an entire almost 4-hour movie. It's just one of those classics that a lot of people already talked about it. So I mean, if you've not seen this movie, it's got some of the best shots of all time in cinematography wise, and some really compelling dialogue and really great sequences that I mean, it just all comes together in a really amazing way. So if you've never seen a Lawrence of Arabia, you're missing out, because this is like one of the greatest epics of all time. So number 3, it's Lawrence of Arabia. I will watch the 4K soon, I promise. All right, so now we're getting to the top 2. So number 2 is a film that I absolutely adore. These next two especially are like 5 out of 5. I would even say Lawrence of Arabia is like a 5 out of 5. But in my particular taste, this is a movie that I just really love. It's actually one of my favorite Westerns of all time. And I'm talking about The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. So we have John Wayne and Jimmy Stewart. Those two people right there are kind of our main characters here. John Wayne kind of takes a back role, which I actually like more. I don't like when he's the main star as much, but I love James Stewart in here, kind of playing kind of a little bit of a pathetic cop who comes to town and gets challenged by Lee Marvin's character. John Wayne has to kind of step in a little bit and help him out in challenging this person. But it's also got a great cast right here. It's got Vera Miles in it, John Carradine, and Lee Van Cleef. It's just an absolutely stacked cast from top to bottom, and it's a John Ford film, and this is actually one of his best movies he's ever made. I just cannot believe how much I love this movie, and it's in black and white, and it's kind of crazy because in the 60s we've kind of moved a little bit away from black and white, at least in terms of westerns. So it's really interesting, and I really love this, and I really cannot wait to see this, again on 4K. I've actually another one that I, just like Lawrence of Arabia, had not checked out the newest version of, but Paramount Presents put it out. And yeah, this is a film that I think everyone needs to watch. If you don't like Westerns, check this movie out because it will change your mind. I guarantee it. All right, so my number 1 film from 1962 is directed by Masaki Kobayashi. It is a Japanese classic that not a lot of people have talked about, and I think more and more people need to check out. I'm talking about Harakiri. Seppuku, more or less. You'll find out kind of in the movie once it starts off. It's ritual suicide, more or less. Yeah, but so this movie, it's a procedural. So if you're interested in those kinds of films, this is the movie just for you. But the amount of detail and kind of flashbacks going back and forth, and then just the amount of like interactions between the characters in here is just masterful. This is like one of the best, almost like mystery thrillers that I've ever seen. Trying to figure out and piece together this story of like why this guy is about to kill himself because of some kind of wrong condemnation. So it's just an amazing film, and it's got also a really great cast here. Is Tatsuya Nakadai, who is our main character, has never looked better in here. He's been in a lot of fantastic Japanese films, and there's just, I don't know, this film, there's just like a breadth of emotional resonance that kicks in when you watch this movie. There's a lot of humanity that like kind of ebbs through this, and I just really love it. And I want to thank SJS actually many years ago who recommended this to me, and ever since I've watched it a couple times now, and I loved it every single time I watch it, and I just get drawn in to the world of Harakiri. So if you've not seen this film, you definitely need to watch it because it's why it's my number 1 choice. So what about you? What are your favorite films from 1962? I would love to know in the comment section down below, and please be sure to give me a new year, because only 4 of you out of 12 give me a year last time. So please tell me some years down in the comment section so we can continue this series and have a good time talking about our 5 favorite films from this year. I would love to know. So thank you so much for watching this video. Give it a like, share, hit the notification bell, subscribe, and I will see you next time. I'm not jonesing around.